Okay, so Tez Zayin, פיסקא Zayin, קידושין למד א' עמוד א'. So we've learned in the previous the letter regarding the obligation of a father to teach him a profession, to teach him Torah, to all the things that a father is obligated to teach his son. We mentioned also swimming. Now we're going to go on and talk about the Bat Kibud Aveim. So every time the Gemara asks, to what extent a father needs to teach his son Torah. So now, and to what extent his father you need to teach your son a profession, etc., etc. Now the Gemara is going to ask, and to what extent does a son has to be mechabed his parents? And the Gemara is going to bring down the Maaseh, the famous Maaseh of Dama ben Netina, the guy that was mechabed his father, and in reward to this he got a paraduma. So the Gemara is going to speak about this. Going to bring a few stories of Chachomim, the way they were themselves mechabed their parents, and we're going to see if even they were honoring their parents to such an extent, it still wasn't considered as that they were respecting their parents at the fullest. Ad kedei kach that the Gemara is going to say that it might be better for somebody to not know his parents like this, to never know his parents. So like this, he doesn't have to come across the fact that he's not respecting his parents at the fullest.
Wow.
So let's see everything in the Verter. Boy, they ask Rav Ula, to what extent a man needs to respect his parents? He said, come and check, come and see what a guy did for his father in Ashkelon. And his name was Dama ben Nesina. Amru, so this is the story. Pam achas bikshu chachomim pragmatim mishishim ribu sochar. The chachomim offered a deal for $600,000 profit. And the key was under the pillow of his father while he was sleeping. He didn't wake up his father to make the deal.
What was the deal? For what?
For $600,000.
What was he buying?
Oh, so he's going to. So there's two nuschos. Now it's the first one. He says pragmatia. There was a deal of being offered for this amount. Is Rashi 60 ribu socha. Oyo mishtake bo 60 ribu dinore zav. 600,000 dinore golden coins. So it's a lot of money. Yeah, and his father was sleeping, and the key was under his pillow, and he didn't wake him up. Second version of the story, Omar Rav Yehuda Bar Shmuel. The Rav Yehuda Bar Shmuel say that there is another version to the story. Shalom Rabbi Eliezer, Adechan Kibud Avem. To what extent do you need to respect your parents? So until now it's the same version. It's just a detail that changes. Amru Pam Chas Bikshu Minu Chachom Avonim Lo Eifod B'Shishim Ribu Socha. The Chachomim were looking to buy stones for the ephod for the price of 600,000. Rav Kahana Masne b'shmoinim ribu. Rav Kahana was teaching not 600,000, 800,000. And he had the key under the pillow of his father. Okay, so two nuschos. One, just a business deal was offered for that amount. And the second, that the business deal was the Avnei Ephod. Okay? So you see over here that Mamesh Dama ben Nesina, a guy who was mechabed his parents. Lishana Acheres, for the next year, Nasan HaKadosh Baruch Hu schora. HaKadosh Baruch Hu paid him his reward. שנולדה לו פרה אדומה בעדרוי. He had a pora aduma in his among his herd that was born. So נכנסו חכמי ישראל אצלו. When the Chachamim heard that he had a pora aduma, they came in to check on it. אמר להם, דומה בניסינה, so the guy told the Chachamim, יודע אני בכם, I know about you. שאם מבקש אני מכם כל הזמן שבעולם, if I'm going to ask you all the money in the world, אתם לא יסתים לי, you're going to give it to me. אלא אין אני מבקש מכם, I'm not asking you so much money, אלא איזה moment שהפסדתי בשביל כיבוד אבא. Just the amount that I lost for honoring my father. וכששמעו חכמים הדבר, when the Chachamim heard about the story, they said, ומה מי שהיינו מצווה כך, מצווה ועושה, הלחץ כמה וכמה. If somebody who doesn't have the obligation to respect his parents, right? The guy doesn't have the mitzvah of kibud avayim, and he still does it, and he gets such a reward. If somebody who does have the obligation, what kind of reward will he get? So it's unbelievable. Rabbi Chanina said, it's a bigger schus for somebody who is liable, who is obligated, and does it, from somebody who is not obligated and does it. Right? So if you have the mitzvah, if you do it and you still do it, it's more important than if you don't have the mitzvah. The reason is, one of the reasons is, because when you have the mitzvah, the Yetzer Hara is coming after you to tell you not to do it. Right. So it's harder to do it.
Right.
If you don't have the mitzvah, the Yetzer Hara doesn't come. It's your choice, you do it. The Yetzer Hara doesn't come after you.
And then you feel really good about yourself.
Yeah. Actually, I heard a pshat regarding the story that why he got the reward he got was paraduma. Because when he was doing the mitzvah of Kibbud Avayim, and they saw that in the Shemaim, they saw that a guy did such a mitzvah, so he was a big kittul. Because they say if a guy does it, how much a yid needs to do it? So this is why the reward was something that was not al pi seichel. To be mechabed your parents, it's something that it's al pi seichel. It's a mishpat. But Poraduma, it's a chukah. So the reward was a chukah that the Yidden or Mamish doing Mesiras Nefesh to do a chukah. The guy did Mesiras Nefesh to do a mishpat, a mitzvah that makes sense.
Right.
But the Yidden are making Mesiras Nefesh, like Mamish working very hard to make a mitzvah that doesn't have an explanation according to the Seichel. Wow. So that's why. Yeah, I heard this the other day from Bavremu Friedman.
Oh, of course, yeah.
He's not here now. He would have said it. He would have said it himself.
Sounds exactly like something he would say.
Yeah. Sure. So now we have the story of Rabbi Yosef, right? So we just said that Rabbi Chanina said that who has the biggest chus? Not somebody who doesn't have the obligation and does it. It's just the opposite. Mm-hmm. Somebody who has the obligation and still does it, he has a bigger schus. Right?
Yeah. So
Rabbi Yosef said like this. Rabbi Yosef was blind. Right? And he said, and there is a machlekes, if somebody who is blind is mechuyev b'mitzvah or not. The machlekes between Rabbi Yud and Chachamim. So, because he was blind, so he said that I wish somebody can tell me that the halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda, that somebody who is blind is not obligated to be mekayim the mitzvahs, because I'm blind and I still do the mitzvahs, so I'm getting a bigger schar. But now that I heard that Rabbi Chanina said that if somebody who is obligated gets a bigger schar, I want to hear that the halacha is like Chachamim. So he said, I will make a Yom Tov, I will make a big party if somebody tells me like the halacha is like Chachamim. Like Rabbi Yehuda. Like Rabbi Yehuda.
Yeah. It's from Chagiga?
Mm-hmm.
That was from Chagiga?
No, it's regular. So again, Rabbi Yosef was blind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
and he heard that Rabbi Yehuda said that a blind is part of the mitzvahs, but he still did the mitzvahs. So he thought, because I'm part of the mitzvahs and I still do them, so I want to hear that the halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda.
Right. That I am obligated.
That I am not obligated, and I still do them. But now that I hear that Rabbi Chanina said that it's better somebody who is obligated and still does it, so now I want to hear that the halacha is like Chacham.
Yes.
Okay, so now in the Verter. Okay, Rabbi Yosef said that he was blind. Rabbi Yosef was blind. Mereish Avo Amina, at first I would have said, Man de Avo Amarlis. If somebody would have told me, halacha like Rabbi Yehuda, that the halacha like Rabbi Yehuda that says, Suma Patur min mitzvahs, that a blind is Patur of the mitzvahs, Avidna Yemetov l'Rabbanah, I would have made a big party for the Chachamim. Why? They are not makpid mipakdena, that I'm not chayav and I still do it. So if I'm blind and I'm not chayav and I still do it, I get a bigger schar. But now that I hear that Rabbi Chanina says
it's better to do when you're obligated.
It's better to do when you are obligated. Now that I hear what Rabbi Chanina said, what did Rabbi Chanina say? It's better somebody who is obligated and does it more than somebody who is not obligated and does it. So Mande Amale, if somebody tells you that the halacha is not Rabbi Yehuda, then I will throw a party. So at first I wanted to hear that the halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda. Now I want to hear that the halacha is not Rabbi Yehuda. And take the halacha is not like Rabbi Yehuda, the halacha is like Chachamim, that somebody who is blind is not part of mitzvahs.
So why did he change his mind? I didn't have.
Because he thought that he's part of the mitzvahs.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if he's part of the mitzvahs and he still does it,
he thought he gets a bigger schar.
It's a bigger schar.
But he learned.
So I want the halacha to be like Rabbi Yehuda,
where he says you get a bigger schar when it's optional.
Yeah.
But then he's learning it's like the Chachamim say you get a bigger schar when you're obligated.
So he said, I want to hear that the halacha is not like Rabbi Yehuda. Which Rabbi Yehuda say that if you're blind,
oh right,
because
there's two shittas.
Right.
There's two. Yeah, okay, that's why.
You happen, Rabbi Lezer.
I didn't. No.
There's two shittas of Rabbi Yehuda.
So Rabbi Yosef was blind.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and he was doing the mitzvahs. He was doing all the mitzvahs. And because he was blind and he still do the mitzvahs, so he said, I want to know that the halacha is according to Rabbi Yehuda that say that if you're blind, you're patur of the mitzvahs.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because look at me, I'm patur of the mitzvahs, and I still do the mitzvahs. So I'm getting a bigger schar. Yeah.
It should be better not to.
Right. We actually, I learned this just on Tisha B'Av about this Mishnah. But yeah, we can talk about it later. Right. So he said, I want to hear that the halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda, that somebody who is blind is part of from the mitzvahs. So like this, me as a blind person, I can do the mitzvahs and get more schar. But now that I hear that Rabbi Chanina says that it's better to do the mitzvahs when you are obligated, and not to do the mitzvahs when you're not obligated. So I want to know that the halacha is not like Rabbi Yehuda. I want to know that the halacha is that
when I'm blind,
I'm still chayav.
I'm still chayav. Yeah.
Yeah, then again, it seems like the main thing you're going after is the schar, right?
So it's very interesting because you mentioned this. Whoever says this is Antignos Ish Soichoi. Antignos Ish Soichoi says in Pirkei Avos that אל תהיו כעבודים המשמשים מסרב על מנת לקבל פרס, תהיו כעבודים המשמשים שלא על מנת לקבל פרס. And Antignos Ish Soichoi had two students. They were Baitus and the other one I forgot. Baitus and another name. And they took this pshat.
The Suduki.
Yeah. Tzaddik and Baitus, exactly. Tzaddik and Baitus. So they were the students of Antignos Ish Soichoi, which Antignos was himself a Talmid of Shimon HaTzadik. Shimon HaTzadik was the one who came across Alexander the Great to convince him not to take over Yerushalayim as making a war. and he promised them all the boys that will be born will be named Alexander after him. So after Shmuel Tzaddik was Antigonus Ish Soichoi, and then he was Baitus and Tzadok and Baitus. So they heard that you say don't do all the mitzvahs in order to get a pras. Do all the mitzvahs not to get a pras. So they took the shot and they twisted it completely. They said it looks like there is no pras if you do something bad, good, and there is no bad outcome. There is no einish if you do something bad. This is how they interpreted it.
How did they get that?
Because he said, "Al tiyu kavodim al misham shesarav al menas likanas pras." Don't do it in order to get a schar. So it means there's no schar.
Oh, yeah.
Just do it not to get a schar. So it means not to get a schar. There is no einish.
I guess.
So they took this whole thing and they made a whole Torah out of it, and they drew after them a big crowd that say you could do all of the averes, you don't need to do all the mitzvahs, and it was a big tzorah. This is when the minus started in Klal Yisrael, and they even stopped teaching this Mishnah of Antigonus, just for this reason, only for people who understood a little bit deeper.
What time was Antigonus? Was like
It
second.
was right after Shemona Tzaddik, which is
Second temple.
the second temple. Yeah.
Interesting. It might have led to Yoshke because he was kind of pushing the same thing. Like, oh, you don't need to
Yeah, maybe.
keep mitzvahs. You know.
Probably. They doesn't mention it, but so you said the whole thing is about the schar. It's important to mention the schar also, I guess. Yeah.
Very interesting.
So the Gemara is going to continue regarding Dama ben Nisina. How he was mechabed his parents. When Rav Dimi came, he said, "Pa'am achas oyo lovush siroken shel zav." Once, look at Rashi. Pa'am achas oyo lovush. Once he was wearing. So who was wearing? Dama ben Nisina. Dama ben Nisina was wearing a very expensive piece of cloth that was made of silk and gold. He was sitting amongst the top hierarchy of Rome, the big shot of Rome, amongst the Gdoili Roimi. And his mother came, and she ripped it off him. And she threw it on his head, and she spit at his face. ולא החלימה. Yeah? He didn't do anything. Right? And I read in the Mefoshim that his mother was a little bit cuckoo.
Really? Good. I didn't notice.
Yeah. And then ונפל קורדסקין שלה, and then her shoe fell off. והוישת לה, and he gave it back to her, so she shouldn't be in pain to walk barefoot. Right? So even though he was sitting among all the very respected people, and she came and she spat at him and she ripped off his clothes and everything.
Who's saying this? This is Rabbi Yossi?
Rav Dimi.
Rav Dimi is saying about himself?
About Dama ben Nisina.
The guy with the pill.
So Rav Dimi is saying about Dama ben Nisina that he was sitting with the big, very important people of Rome. I guess he made so much money. He was
He was in the diamond district.
That's it. And his mother came and Mamish treated him very bad. And when she left, her shoe fell off, and he still came and returned his shoe to her. So we see over here that Mamish was very, very, very mechabed his mother. So now we're going to say another story to say the extent. So the original question was, at what extent you need to be mechabed your parents, right? So we're going to say another story to say at what extent the Chachamim were mechabed their parents. So Tani Avimi bered Rabbi Abba. Avimi, the son of Rabbi Abba, who said, "Yesh machil lo'aviv pasyoni v'tordu min ha'il." there is a person that can feed his father a very important food. Look at Rashi Pasyoni, oif choshuv v'shomen. It's a very important type of chicken, like